What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 12 of PMP, also known as the Potty Mouths Podcast. As always, I'm Greg.
I'm Vinny.
We're here to preview Week 7 of the NFL. We're going to get into the big college games this weekend, and I mean big. We'll do a little trivia, do our flush picks, we'll do the Pop Culture Minute, we'll do the Flush White Dite. We have all that for you on our new Thursday lineup. But today we are going to start with MLB. But first, before that, I don't think we've ever done this. Do you want to tell the people how we know each other? We've never done this.
We haven't, but we can. So I and yourself are not from the same hometown, but we have acquaintances, is how I got involved with the Hicksville community through lacrosse, and then what turned into other acquaintances as your brother, and other friends, and then us working together for what feels like 100 years ago, has now brought us to this blossoming friendship and almost family relationship that we have over the, how old are you now?
39.
So it's 20 plus years now. I mean, you were
2001, I met you.
23 years ago. So there we go.
Yeah.
And yeah, Greg's at all family events and is very close with my brother. So we that's our relationship. It's a good relationship.
So yeah, we worked together for a few years.
Yep.
And then we became, like you said, pretty much family.
You decided to go away to college, be a Tiger, a couple stops before, and here we are.
It's true. Got the hell off this island for a little bit.
Yeah. Saw that there's life outside of the bubble.
All right, and that's how in case anyone was wondering, so we've known each other going on almost 25 years. So
yeah, it's been a while.
And I don't think we've ever had like an issue or drama or anything stupid
because it's
everything else is bullshit.
Yeah, and we pretty much are on the same page with everything for the most part. So
two laid back guys that like the Mets.
Yeah,
and let's get into it.
Not the Jets, not the Jets anymore.
Let's get. So speaking of the Mets, let's get into it. They are after last night's shutout victory from LA. It's 2 shutouts. 2 out of 3 games the Mets have been held 2-0. Severino was not sharp. Even when the ball came to him, he is a Gold Glove finalist, but he couldn't make the plays when he needed them most. And Alvarez was a little too jacked up last night, trying to do a little too much at the plate and with the glove. You were there, so I'll let you speak on it. Tell us what you saw. How was the atmosphere, and how bad the Mets at bats were for the first 5 innings?
I mean, I was at the last week's game against the Phillies at home. The first game's always electric. Fox crowd was there. Doc and Darryl threw out the first pitch and got the crowd going. Everybody was into it except the Mets. I'm not mad. Severino labored, but got him through to a point where they just left too many guys on base. The at-bats were, and I think people were talking about the wind last night, about how there was a couple of balls that I don't know if on a normal night where the wind's not blowing in might have gone out, but Ohtani didn't have a problem put one on the upper deck, so the wind was okay for him, I guess. But
Muncy and Kike.
Yeah. So what happened was just that I don't think the lineup was what it's supposed to be, and you can throw all the stats at me and whoever, Mendoza can do the same thing, but that's a big game for JD Martinez, who hasn't started many games this postseason to come in and bat in that. I think he was batting 6 last night. I think he's doing the same thing tonight. Um, and then the unfortunate conversation is that Alvarez just looks completely lost at the plate. I think he's left on like 11 to 12 guys in the postseason already. So that's a lot of guys on base. But there was other guys who had chances. I think Lindor, Alonso, and Alvarez were all 0 for 4 last night. The only hits really came from like Iglesias and Marte might have had one, but not the lineup that I would have put out there. Average Severino's giving up 3 runs a game, and that's what he was pretty much at when he got taken out. And 1 or 2 probably could come back because of bad plays in the field, one on his part and one on. I mean, Alvarez tried a little hard at the beginning of that game to kind of go to second, which, whatever. It's if he makes the play, and we're not talking about it, but it didn't kill them at that point. It's tonight's a do or die. Last night really was the game to win, to go into tonight and put a lot of more pressure on them. But now you're at home again, pitching against Yamamoto. You're expecting Quintana to throw another, great playoff game, and it's all great. But if they can't hit, it doesn't matter at this point. So, I mean, a lot of their runs have just come off of Vientos' grand slam is, 4 runs at one shot. They haven't really manufactured runs, and I mean, you're looking at the lineup tonight. Beta's in there, Taylor's out, and you're trotting Alvarez and Martinez back out there again. So I don't know what the expectancy is. I'm praying that it's better than last night, but just didn't come to play last night. They just, as the game went on, the crowd kind of was quieted, and it was just you held Ohtani to 0 for 3 in the first 4 3 at bats, which is pretty good. So the late inning home run, and then the Muncy added one on there too. But listen, there's no excuses. All hands on deck tonight. Winning tonight and tomorrow obviously would be the most ideal situation, but tonight first, and praying that Quintana throws another, gem. Freddie Freeman is not in the lineup for the Dodgers tonight.
Yeah, so I agree with you. They don't look good.
No.
And you're right. That one swing in LA has really been their offense. Yeah, you're banking on Quintana going out there and looking like an ace, which he is not. And if you're in the lineup for the Mets and your name ends in EZ, it's been pretty fucking hard for you to look good at the plate. So Martinez and Alvarez, one of them needs to either sit or hit.
That's it.
But Mendoza, I was listening last night, Mendoza's going to tell you that JD's in the lineup for the reverse splits, how Yamamoto and Bueller do very well against lefties. So that's what Mendoza's going to tell you. And then I think it's clearly because he was asked, I think Andy Martino, I think was like the first question in the press conference after Andy Martino right away was like, would you think about giving Torrens a start at catcher? And before the question was even over,
no.
Mendoza said Alvarez or Alvi, whatever he calls him, Alvarez is playing tonight. I kind of get that from a confidence thing if that's what he's worried about, but
what confidence is there right now?
And listen, I joked with my friend that the crowd was too good last night because everyone was jacked up and they were taking horrible at bats. They were swinging at everything, and they were swinging at everything until the called strike 3.
Yeah, they worked backwards in a lot of at bats. Like they'd go down, they'd come up hacking, and then down 0-2, 1-2, and you're looking at a walk all of a sudden. When your back's against the wall, they're going to throw the whole
and
sink at you.
The box score will tell you that Walker Bueller pitched great. He was not sharp. He was not throwing strikes. He just had the knuckle curve going and fooling these guys that were trying to hit a 7-run home run. So, all right.
Last week, if the Mets were playing them as hot as they were, like against the Phillies and especially in that series, Bueller doesn't make it out of the second last night.
Yeah. And
And
the Mets are kind of walking the ballpark, and the Dodgers, they don't chase.
Yeah, they're disciplined, and that was the key last night, was to get back into that bullpen early, and they couldn't do that. And by the time they brought those guys back in last night, they just shut them down, and it was kind of over after the Hernandez home run. So
yeah, and the first answer out of the bullpen from LA was Kopech, who played was great. The Mets don't, as good as Reed Garrett is, Kopech, he's just a level above. That's your first guy.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a deep bullpen. And listen, I'm not saying the series is over.
No,
but it's not looking good. And you know my mentality. If the Mets go down in this series, I think it's a good thing for the future of the Mets. My biggest fear is that they go on, lose the World Series, and Cohen brings back the same damn team.
I think it's going to happen regardless, but
no, you got to bring in an ace, maybe even two. You got to figure out DH with Mauricio coming back, with Vientos, whether you're going to move him to first, where you're bringing Pete back, you're getting Soto, you're getting Santander. You got to add talent, because this team looks terrible at the plate for long stretches of games, and by long stretches of games, I mean like 7 or 8 innings.
Yeah, I mean they don't have a lot of, well, the pitching's really the biggest problem they're going to run into, because they don't really have anybody back beside.
Yeah, that's why give me Roki Sasaki, give me Coburn Burns, give me Bieber, give me Fried, give me Bueller, give me 2 of those guys.
Yeah, that's a big difference, huge difference.
Yeah, and we'll see.
Well, and I'm going to throw this out there too, and I don't know who's going to bite, who's going to do what, but Trevor Bauer needs to be on a roster too.
No, he's never going to pitch in the majors again. All right, so we'll go across town. The Yankees are up 2-0 to Cleveland. Cleveland's kind of their weakness is offense, and they can't do anything. And if Ramirez and Naylor aren't gonna, have Kwan on base for them, and Fry's not gonna hit a home run, they're kind of cooked. Unless Boyd in about 10 minutes, because we're filming this live at close to 5. Unless Boyd in about 10 minutes can shut down the Yankees and outpitch Clark Schmidt, I think Cleveland's pretty much done, maybe in 5 games. The Yankees are not playing well. Like John Sterling said, they run the bases like they're drunk, which was great. It's a great clip if you haven't heard it. Yankees don't look great, but they're doing enough, and the AL kind of opened up for them when the Orioles and the Astros failed to advance to their division series. So I'll let you finish that if you notice anything in the Bronx.
The lineup tonight has got some changes to it. John Birdie starting, and at first base, so no Rizzo. And
Rizzo?
They're gonna start the catcher Wells is gonna sit tonight, and they're gonna start what's his name, Trevino. Tonight's a must-win for Cleveland. I actually like Cleveland tonight. I think they're gonna make this a little bit longer of a series. I think this is a game that they have to win. I think if anything tonight, with the lineups the way they are, I think Cleveland should win. We'll see.
I'm with you there. I do like Boyd. I know Schmidt's kind of underrated though. Schmidt,
no, he is
a gem, but I think this is the game that Cleveland shows up, scores a little runs. Maybe you have to score first because their bullpen is legit. So I'm with you.
Yeah, no, I'm liking Cleveland tonight. I think this is a game that you're gonna say, oh well, Boone made the changes and they didn't work, so now we're gonna go back to the the Wells and the Rizzos of the world, which is fine. But it's I think Cleveland tonight is a winner at home in their first game of the series here at what's it called? Not even know what the stadium's called anymore. I call it the Jake.
Is it Progressive or something?
Yeah, Progressive.
Yeah. So for the video audience that watches us on YouTube, I'm just throwing a tiny pickup. And speaking of audio and video, we are now on Spotify. We are now on Apple Podcasts. We are now on Amazon. We are now on iHeartRadio. So if you want to drive and listen to us. If you're at the gym, you know, we are
Pumping iron.
we are in your we're in your pocket wherever you can find podcasts. Well, not wherever, but wherever I just named the popular sites. So
Yeah.
give us a like, give us a comment, download. All right, so for the audio audience, I put up a picture of Otani that I missed before. All right, so we're done with baseball. We're kind of in wait and see mode as we get to the heart of these series, the middle of these series. Which leads me to our favorite game. Maybe not Vinny's because he has to do it all. But we're gonna
I like
do.
it.
We're
I
gonna
like the pressure. So
we're gonna do a little flush wiper dipe.
All right.
Again, flush is flush is the kill. Wipe is the F in FMK. The fuck. Try not to curse too much if we're gonna be on all these platforms, but we are the potty mouths. So and then dipe is Mary. So flush wiper dipe, and the first one for you. You brought it up. Maybe I'm getting a little premature here because the series and season is not over. But flush wiper dipe. The three Mets starters that are set to be free agents after this season's over. Manaya, Severino, Quintana. Manaya can opt out. And Severino was a 1-year deal.
Yep.
So who are you going to flush? Who are you going to wipe? Who are you going to dipe? So who you dipe is who you want back. Who you wipe is who you wouldn't mind seeing coming back. And then flush is get him out of Queens.
It's such a. I mean, I don't want to say like I want anybody out of Queens. I mean, those three guys are why we are where we are right now.
I agree.
There's no doubt about it, and you can throw Peterson in there from when he came back and he pitched great. I'm gonna base this off of age and what I think is. I'm gonna flush Quintana. And he's been in 3 years now. This is the last year.
Yeah,
he was hurt the first year. He pitched okay last year, and he had stretches this year that he was really good, and then there was some that were like, oh my god, like in the beginning of the year. But I think his age plays a lot into this at this point for me. For all three of these guys, they all proved that they can pitch here, which is huge. But I'm taking Quintana to flush. I'm gonna wipe Manaya because, I mean, I feel like it's one of those seasons that obviously he's played his way out of this. I think it's like, I don't know how much. I think it's like almost 13 million or something like that. But somebody's gonna overpay him. Someone's gonna take him on the roster, and in his past, he's not like a. This isn't really who he is, in my opinion. I know he's pitched great and lights out, and he's done well, and he's changed his arm slot. Thank you, Chris Sale. But I just feel like he's definitely pitched his way into a huge contract somewhere. I just don't think it's going to be here. And I think you see him kind of go back to average player that he really is. And I'm going to keep Sevy because I thought we know he can pitch here. He's pitched here for both teams. He had kind of the guy that kept this whole group together in the bad and the good. And he labored last night, and but he's pitched some really good games. He's got the best numbers, I think, statistically this year for them. Kind of the leader there in that group. So if we can get him back at a reasonable price, which I don't know what that means anymore in this day and age, but yeah, I'll keep Sevy in this group for just he's got the best stuff too. So
and I would flip Manaya and Severino if you were to ask me. I would keep the lefty. I would keep the guy with less injury past.
Understood.
And because the guys out there that I would want to add are righties. So I would come back. I would obviously money shouldn't be an issue for Cohen. I would pay Manaya for what he's done. So I think he might have the better numbers. I know they're close, but I think Manaya might have the better stats than Severino. Plus he's looks great in the postseason when it matters most. And Severino has he had a 4.50 ERA going into last night. And I know it's small sample size, but he hasn't looked as good as Manaea. But yeah, the arms that I named that are available are all righties, as far as I remember. So I would like
Fried's a
to.
lefty.
Who?
Fried.
Oh, okay, yeah, Fried. So I don't think Atlanta's gonna let Fried go, but especially when Strider can't stay healthy and all those guys. So yeah, we'll see. All right, next one. We talked about it before, how it's like week 7 already. The holidays are coming, so we're gonna do flush swiper dipe, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas.
You can flush Halloween all day, every day. It's the absolute worst holiday on the traditional American calendar. I would rather celebrate Arbor Day, Flag Day, a lot of days, but not Halloween. Is just a waste of time. It's a fantasy day for people to be people they're not. It's a joke. Go to Comic-Con if you want to do that. I mean, what are we talking about? You want to dress up as Super Mario at your 55 years old? I mean, come on, enough. Man, those other 2 holidays you can interchange either one of them. I mean, I'll wipe Christmas and I'll dipe Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving is a family. It's a family. They're both family holidays, but I think the true meaning of Christmas is obviously so far out the window. And it's not just Christmas anymore. It's my kids get a gift for any day of a holiday. It's Easter. It's Valentine's Day. It's just so
it was always like that, though, right? It was always like that for me. Whether it's like candy and a card.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, it's just so Christmas is just taking on a whole new. It's an animal on its own. But Thanksgiving's a good day to sit around the table, watch some football, hang out with your family, enjoy the day, have some good food, and that just is my my favorite of the year.
Interesting.
What about yours? What is your thoughts on that? I feel like
I like all 3 a lot.
I
really do like all 3 a lot. I mean, I did go to Comic-Con last year, even though I forgot I was going. Forgot I was going until my sister texted me.
I got pictures of that
about the ticket. I don't know. I like all 3. I'm about to get into quote unquote spooky season. Watch some scary movies after the. Well, I don't want to say it out loud, but I think a certain team is not long for the playoffs. So I think when they pack their bags, I'm gonna maybe tune out and then watch some scary movies for the next 2 weeks. But
what's your go-to? Like, what is your I gotta see? It's Halloween. It's like my wife has to watch Hocus Pocus. I'm like, what do we do? What is that?
I try to watch something I've never. I try to watch multiple movies I've never seen, like the week of Halloween. And last year I put on like Turner Classic Movies and watched a bunch of black and white films.
I like that.
For the first time, and they were pretty damn good. But you always have to put on AMC and watch the original Halloween at some point the week of. It's so good.
Never saw any of them. It's like Star Treks and those other Star Wars. I have never seen anything. I
know.
So put me on the list of ninjas. I mean, Mike Myers and whatever he does.
Yeah, the first Halloween's a classic. I don't really read it. I don't have like a tradition like that. I guess watching Halloween, a little bit of it every year, but no, I try to see something I've never seen. There's a bunch of new horror movies that have come out in the past few years that I'm going to try to watch.
But
like things are like really scary now. So see how.
Let me chime in here. I because my sister-in-law saw that other movie that's out right now. Something 3. It's the third one. People like getting sick in the movie theaters. I don't know.
Terrifier.
Yeah, she said it was wild. But
see, that's the thing. I might watch the first 2 next week.
Okay.
But I heard heard people were literally throwing up in the movie theaters or having to leave.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. But let me just interject here for a second. And I wish you had some pictures to put up, and this would have been great because you love to dress up for Halloween.
She's my friend too, but my sister's friend. That's how I met her. Her Carol. She's out in Queens. She throws a themed party every year, but we're not having one this year. And I won't even be here that Halloween weekend. I'll be flying for a wedding. But my friend Alicia, who is an artist and a makeup artist, she she's done me up pretty well with the makeup with
Yeah.
some costumes. So maybe we get a big enough audience and they request it. I'll show some pics. But
Please. They
no,
love
Halloween's
that.
fun. So I would I don't know. Christmas has changed for me over the years. I'll probably flush Christmas.
Okay.
But I like all three. But I'll probably flush Christmas because it's not what it used to be, like you said. And
Yeah, it's different. But when you have kids, it's like, oh my god, it's like
yeah, and
flush
then
it.
Thanksgiving comes so fast. So I'll
I
wipe
know.
Thanksgiving. It comes and goes, and usually I'm just kind of watching like one fantasy guy, chilling and hoping he does well. And again, they're probably all interchangeable depending on the year.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm gonna dipe Halloween because I feel like I get the most out of it because I could watch scary movies for 2 weeks, and if I have a party and get whacked at a Halloween party, oh, it's pretty fun. But that could change
Yeah.
any year.
Okay.
And then, all right, last flush, wipe, and dipe. Before you shit on Halloween, I didn't see that coming. I was going to ask flush, wipe, or dipe real quick. Snickers, peanut M&Ms, Reese's peanut butter cups. In the Halloween spirit.
Wow.
Are you a chocolate candy guy?
Just this time of year. Like I'll go into Walmart to go get something for work, and I'm walking out with a 20-pound bag of Milk Duds and whatever else that comes in that. I don't even like 90% of what's in there. Wow, that's a great. Oh gosh, that's tough. I'm gonna flush Snickers. I'm not. I can Snickers ice cream bar is a different conversation. But
what if I replace Snickers with Twix? Is that harder for you?
No.
Okay, so all right, Snickers, peanut M&Ms, Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yeah, so I'm gonna flush the Snickers. I'm gonna wipe the Reese's Pieces cups, and then I'm going to. I mean, and you can change them back and forth really because like I like Reese's peanut butter cup
Pups?
sundaes from Friendly's.
You have peanut butter dogs?
And then I'll dipe the M&M peanut M&Ms, which I think you can eat any day, anytime. I just feel like now is like a Halloween. Like there's just so much nonsense that's out there.
Steal your daughter's candies.
Yeah, my little one will eat candy for 4 meals a day if she could. My older one doesn't have to have any of it, so it's really interesting. But yeah, no.
All right. With that said, do you want to leave?
You're a Snickers guy. I feel like you're a Snickers
Reese's
guy.
peanut butter cups. Like if I was
number one,
if I was on death row, that would be my last meal. Would be pretty extravagant, but Reese's peanut butter cups would be my last.
I'll tell you what, I would put number one above most actual Reese's Pieces themselves.
Yeah, I have to be in the mood for those. That's like a maybe once a year kind of thing for me.
Okay. That's fair.
I'm a peanut butter cup guy. All right, I'll let you lead the NFL preview for us if you want to get to it.
NFL preview this week 7 already. Is that what we said?
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, it's really crazy. Some good games this week actually. So we'll start off with the Texans at the Packers. Packers at home -2.5. Jordan Love's probably the healthiest I think he's probably been all year, except for opening week. Texans on the road, going into a tough Green Bay atmosphere. I like the Packers here at home. I think that they pull this one off. I'm a little surprised at the line. I thought it might have been 3.5 to kind of really have people jump on the Texans, but I'm a Jordan Love guy at home. I think they're just going to get better every week as long as he's healthy, and I'll take them to beat the Texans.
Yeah, I like this too. A little banged up for Houston, right? No Nico.
No Nico.
This game could be a shoot. I don't know the over under. I would go over. Whatever it is, even if it's like 85. That's a joke, but yeah, I would take the over here.
But not a joke.
I guess I'd give the Packers. I guess I'll pick the Packers just because they're home. And yeah, Love is getting healthy, and he was one of my MVP picks. Yeah, so I'd go Packers at home.
Yeah, it's the over's 47. So
yeah, take the over. I would.
Yeah, I actually thought last week's game against the Cardinals that would have been more points scored on the side of the Cardinals, but that game went over as well. So yeah, no, it could be a shootout there. I don't Texans on the road. I'm not really sold on them on the road yet, but what do I know? I'm not really a big Texans fan. Next game up, Lions, Detroit Lions. The Lions that hung a ton of points on the Cowboys last week are on the road again at probably the most surprising team in football, the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings at home favorites -2. Man, this is interesting. This is a really interesting setup here. -2 at home. Hey, I'm gonna take the Lions, and I'm gonna take the Lions because until somebody stops them and makes them look beatable, and I don't know if Minnesota has had like that game yet where they're really, really kind of been challenged. I know the Jets kind of gave them a little bit in London.
Yeah,
right? That was
the
a
second
London
half.
game.
They made it a game late.
Would you say that's the best? I think the Niners really. I'm gonna go with the Lions here because I just think that they just continue to roll. I know that I think I saw talks of maybe getting Crosby, and then I saw Reddick is in the conversation. I think they're kind of trying to replace that defensive side of it. But I'm gonna go with the Lions here on the road. I don't like them as, I guess Minnesota's record is really dictating the line here. But I'm taking the Lions on the road here.
All right, I'm gonna go opposite of you only because Minnesota had the bye. So I'll give Minnesota the win at home, just because they're probably a little more fresh, a little prepared. Is Hawkinson gonna play?
I don't know. I think I saw he's on the PUP still, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he's eligible to be
Is
back this week. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah. So
yeah,
I'd go Minnesota
maybe.
there just because the bye.
Yeah, what are you getting out of him early? Like how many snaps is he going to see? Is he going to get a workload? I mean,
Yeah, but that guy would play. That guy would play with one arm. He's always banged up.
Well, then he should have been playing already.
Well, I think he had a serious injury. Losing an arm in a football game is not a serious injury. It's not a serious injury. If what's his name could lose an eye, sir, you want that movie was terrible. If what's his name could lose an eye, whoever that was in the Any Given Sunday, you could lose an eye. That movie sucked. People like that movie.
Yeah, people like it. They think it's like one of the best football movies ever. No,
people love that stupid speech. Life's a game of inches. No, it's not, unless you're a porn star.
Depends.
But yeah, Al Pacino and sports don't mix. What was that gambling movie that he was in? That was terrible. Like One for the Money. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, based on the true story of a guy from
Pacino with the mob and coke.
That's based off of what's his name? You know the guy who's on Barstool, the old man who lives in Farmingdale.
Yeah, I knew it was a true thing.
Yeah,
I don't waste my time with.
No,
I still haven't seen Uncut Gems, which
I don't even know what that is.
That's Kevin Garnett is in it. It's the Adam Sandler movie.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
It's supposed to be great.
Yeah. Seahawks at the Falcons. Atlanta's home. Atlanta's favored -3. I don't ever like West Coast teams coming to play on the East Coast. I'm assuming this is an early game too. So I'm going to ride the Falcons here.
That's a 1 p.m.
Yeah, I'm riding the Falcons here. Gino's done a lot of traveling and having to play a lot of tough teams recently. So they're not I don't know who they are. I don't. Are they?
We have a sound for that. Do you have a question for Seattle?
I don't know who they are. Who are you? Can you tell me who you are?
Did you hear it? Did you hear it? They played it.
No, I didn't. But is it Kenneth Walker 3 touchdowns? Is Lockett going to actually get more touches again this week? I don't know what they're going to do. Not sold on them. I said it from the beginning. The Niners just beat them. Then you got to travel on another tough game for them. So I like Cousins has got the team rolling a little bit more each week. Hopefully Bijan gets some more touches and win this game at home.
I want to play something else. Let me hear it. I should have played this before because Minnesota was on.
He was on a bye week, by the way, playing golf.
Yeah, they were on a bye week.
Yeah,
they were on a bye week.
I am gonna go. Geez, this is who'd you picked the Falcons to win and cover?
at home, early game, travel, West Coast. It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah. Seahawks' last game was the loss to the Giants.
No, Niners beat them last Thursday.
All right, Seattle's gonna win. They're better than the record.
Okay.
Give me Seattle.
Yeah. Game of the week, most likely on paper, but I don't know what Niner team we're gonna get. Kansas City travels to San Francisco. I don't understand this. I don't know what the situation is. The Niners are 1.5 point favorites at home. Jennings hasn't practiced. Ricky's back. Ricky Purcell's back. I don't know what that means. McCaffrey's not
Pearsall?
playing.
The gunshot.
Whatever his name is. Whatever. Yes. Yep. Last week. Came out and said that it's, if the Niners win, it doesn't from last year. So it's against the senior, which everybody seems to love. I don't like Kelsey getting going already. Like last week, he started. Well, they had a bye week last week too, but I don't like the Niners being favored at home in this game. So
He was on a bye week, by the way, playing golf.
I'm gonna say the Niners win. Somehow, some way, I don't know how. It's gonna be a miracle of some sort because I don't really know who's gonna really play. Is Mason hurt still? I don't know. So,
You just hate the Chiefs.
I hate the Chiefs. I mean, do you have a reason for me to like them?
This in general or this week?
General, because that leads
Patrick
to this week.
Mahomes, arguably the best quarterback ever, skill-wise. That's all I got. Andy Reid, been there, done that. He's likable. Chicken tendies.
He loves commercials now. So
Skidoo
they all do, and
Rooski.
I hope that's
what's
what's
the last
gone
one?
to their head. Well, the did you see the new commercial with him and it's Mahomes, and I think he's doing like
The Skidoo Rooski. What is that one?
Yeah,
It's
that
actually
one.
hilarious.
It's funny. No, it's really funny. It's a really good commercial, and speaking of that, the other commercial I like is Jerry Rice eating the rice.
Oh, that's McConaughey.
Yeah, McConaughey.
Yeah, that one's pretty good.
But I'm hoping that all these commercials go to these guys' heads and they don't really show up this week, and the Niners just pull one out. So I'm taking the Niners at home.
Same reason I'm taking the Vikings, giving the Chiefs. They were on the bye week, right?
Yeah. I mean,
He was on a bye week, by the way.
I don't have the
analysis.
numbers in front of me, but I'm pretty sure Reed's pretty dominant coming out of the bye.
We'll see.
But yeah, give me the Chiefs in a close one.
This could be game of the week too. Ravens at the Bucks. Ravens -3.5 on the road going into Tampa. Wow. Oh man, this is just telling me to take the Bucks. The whole kit and caboodle here. I'll tell you what, Baker can't play like he did last week, thinking he's going to come back against second half Spencer Rattler here. Did you watch the video, by the way?
No, I don't have 30 minutes. I got to watch scary movies. And the
You
Met.
have plenty of time. I can tell you that.
Yeah. You put us up on Spotify and Apple.
All right. Show me how.
Took me forever to figure out my Apple password situation.
I'm gonna go with the Ravens here. I think that they just keep rolling. Tampa's gonna make some. Baker's gonna. It's a tough defense to play against, and I know you played against the Saints last week, but you almost blew the game. You were up. I almost want to say 17 or 18 points, and then they erased that on you. So
yeah,
if the Saints can do it,
I didn't watch that game that closely. People were still worried about. Like I saw people on podcasts and shows talking about how they picked Tampa Bay in the Survivor pool or whatever the hell they were doing. And they were like watching the game all angry, but the final score, didn't they win by like 21 points?
Yeah, but it was so like I said, it was they were up 17, 18 points, and then all of a sudden it's Saints are winning.
I didn't follow that game closely. I saw the final.
second half, yeah. So right, so they came back. I mean, they're playing against Spencer Rattler, who has never played in a game in his life. So they did a good job coming back to Saints, and they just couldn't really finish it. But I'm taking the Ravens here. Lamar.
Don't call it a comeback.
Good defense. Maybe Mark Andrews catches another couple balls this week.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go opposite you here. I'm gonna do. Ravens have been playing pedal to the metal. They've been playing great, beating very good teams, very good quarterbacks. This is a letdown game for me. Give me the Buccaneers at home.
I just got a text message from James Donaldson.
It's a blast from the past.
There we
Good
go.
dude.
Speaking of work. Last game, your New York Jets.
My former New York Jets.
Right. I just wanted to see what you'd say about that. New York Jets -2.5 at the Steelers. I don't even know. I don't know.
Adams will suit up, and I believe Russell Wilson's getting the start. I think.
I don't know. I'm taking this. I mean, I'm gonna take the Steelers. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna off a couple different. One, I don't know what Adams is gonna bring to the table. Miraculously, he's the healthiest he's been all season this week. So he's
forgot about the hamstring.
Yeah, his hamstring's healed now. So the flight over must have really did wonders for him. I think he's even looking for a long-term contract from the Jets, who he hasn't even played a
Let's
snap
go.
yet, but it's neither here nor there. If you're telling me Russ is starting, I don't know what that means. I don't know. This game sucks, honestly. I don't have any interest.
I should have put it before the Ravens because Ravens.
They should have flexed it out. They should have just done away with it.
No. I was mistaken last episode. Jets is Sunday night. The Ravens are Monday night.
This is just a horror show to me. Are the Mets playing Sunday night? Probably. We don't know. Yeah, they should. I mean, if they win, they should be.
I think the Mets will be in Cabo by Sunday.
Oh man, that stinks.
Listen, the last Game 5 playoff game that Matt Harvey pitched in, they lost the World Series. Matt Harvey's throwing out the first pitch, Game 5, to Yoenis Cespedes.
Tomorrow.
It's all cyclical.
That's Game 6. Oh, 5, right? Yeah. I'm gonna go on the Steelers here because I hate the Jets and they stink, and I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. I hope Jeremy Ruckert has a good game because he's from Long Island. How about that? But Russell Wilson's gonna have what's his name, George Pickens down there. Is he still there?
Yeah, before he requested trade. I think that could be. I think that's why they're going to Russ. I think
really?
Fields. Yeah, they got to get things going in the air. If they like
How
I
about
said,
the ground? How about that? How about the guy that's from Bama who doesn't play anymore?
Najee's not what people think he is.
Eddie Lacy 2.0.
And neither is Jalen Warren. And who else? They have Cordero Patterson.
Freiermuth? Is Freiermuth on the roster still?
Yeah, and I think that's why you're going to go to even at 4-2. I think that's why you go to Russell Wilson because he can score for you and he can keep you. He can keep that lead against that Dallas team, in my opinion. I don't think Fields can do that. And I think we're going to see Pickens start to live up to the hype, and he's top 5 skills at the position. He's top 5 hands and body freaking. I wouldn't even say body control. He'll put his body on the line to make a one-handed catch. And I think that's why you go to Russ there. But yeah, I think Greg the leg hits one late. I think the Jets.
Oh my god!
I think the Jets win by 3 if they can keep Watt out of Rodgers' pants.
You might like it.
Yeah. Give me the Jets. I think it's gonna pump. I think it's gonna pump some life into them, knowing that quote unquote ownership is quote unquote.
I see where this is going. I see where this whole thing is going.
I'm not getting back on the bandwagon. I'm
this. You did it with the Mets.
What do you mean?
Right. Well, you're kind of like disown them throughout the season.
No, I just wasn't into this roster, and they didn't do enough in April and May for me to care.
Right, but now that they're here, which in our both opinions, it's a very lucky situation that they are here and they're playing well, and we're happy about that. But you're going to be back on the Jets bandwagon.
I'll
You're gonna be
watch. I
like-
won't.
they're
I
gonna-
don't.
they're gonna-
I watch like a zombie.
No,
Have I ever
it's-
been? Have I ever been diehard Jets? Have you ever known me
I
to
don't
be
know what your diehard really, beside LSU Tigers volleyball.
diehard Halloween costumes? No, I'm just kidding.
That's true too.
No, like they
Like you're
are,
a bigger Liberty fan than you are a Jet fan. I'll agree with that. Or a WNBA fan. Let me put it to you that way. Fair?
Recently, yes. Historically, no.
There you go.
No,
There you go.
I just
Michigan.
the older
Michigan
I
Blue
get-
was the
the
old
older
one.
I get, the less time I want to waste on awful fucking teams and ownership. And I really want Cohen or Mark Cuban to get an NFL itch, and I want them to buy the Jets because the Jets are going nowhere with ownership. I didn't hate the Wilpons, but listen,
That's scary.
life's too short, and I'm getting older. I'm not going to waste 3 hours every Sunday watching Ryan Fitzpatrick try and complete a pass. Like, I'm too old for that shit.
Ryan Fitzpatrick had some choice words for Mr. Rogers this week. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I didn't hate that, but did Rogers
No,
respond?
It's fun. I don't know. Probably just put Devontae on camera on a podcast or something or whatever he does.
All right. Yeah, Jets get that win.
Oof.
But go Bengals. All right, now next we are back to toilet trivia.
I don't even know what I'm getting into.
All right, first question. I'll try to do this quick. Can you hear it? First question: who leads the NFL in passing yards?
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff is not top 5. Who has 1,770? Brock Purdy second. Third. Who was first?
That's why they pay him. That's why they pay him.
If Jared Goff's not top, Sam, not top 10. Yeah. But you know, because with if Garrett and I would sure definitely affect things. Second trivia question: there are 2 NFL logos that have a flame or fire in them. There you go. Second one.
a
Flame
of
or
what?
fire. Titans and
Dolphins.
And who?
Dolphins.
Boom! Nailed it. Very well done. All right, the third one. What NFL Hall of Famer did James Cameron almost cast over Arnold Schwarzenegger in The Terminator? But he didn't think that this former NFL player would be believable as a killer.
Brian Bosworth.
Is that your final answer?
What year was the movie?
Mid 80s, late 80s.
That's
Yeah.
very
He
interesting.
didn't think it would be believable
Conversation.
that he could be a killer.
Really?
All right, and that
Wow.
was toilet trivia.
What about? Wonder how he feels about that now.
Oh, OJ's
Does he look
dead.
bad? Well, I don't know.
Unless you mean James.
Is he
I'm
alive? I
kidding.
don't
I'm kidding.
know. No, I know that, but I mean, like, oh man, what a time to be alive. Like that. Let's go college football.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Big big weekend in college football, in my opinion. Great games this weekend again. Last week was great. This weekend's great. Anytime you're in conference play, especially SEC, it's exciting. So we have tomorrow night, Friday night, Oklahoma State at the number 13 BYU Cougars. Cougars minus 9.5. I'm taking the Cougars. They're like the Lions to me in the NFL. You're gonna have to really prove to me.
I wish I had a
That-
little cat sound. Wish I had a little
That
meow.
meow. That's a movie. What is that? Super Troopers. So
Yes.
I'm taking the Cougars at home.
Am I drinking out of a saucer?
So yeah, I'm taking the Cougs again. Oklahoma State is brutal, and I expected a lot more out of them. Obviously, we talk about that every week. What's your pick here? Cougars at home against
I'm
the
going Oklahoma State to
Cowboys.
cover. I think Oklahoma
Wow.
State actually shows up and covers. I think they can try and run the ball. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe BYU is better than I think.
Your LSU Tigers, Louisiana State Tigers, minus the 2.5, going into enemy territory, Arkansas, playing the Razorbacks.
Yeah. Upset alert for my Tigers.
Not for me. Not for me. I'm taking the Tigers. They're gonna. I mean, what Arkansas team are you gonna get? That's the question. I know they're home.
Yeah,
I get
this
it,
game's
but
always close. I think LSU wins, but there's definitely an alert, like a watch out. I think LSU. I think LSU wins. I think it's ugly. I think the first half is very ugly.
I feel like this is a game that they're down and they just come back and dominate the second half.
Well, they didn't dominate the second half, but they were down the whole. They didn't lead for a second against Ole Miss, and that was home.
Right, but they did dominate against South Carolina in the second half.
Yeah,
so I see that kind of being like that kind of game for them. So
could be.
I like the Tigers.
Nussmeier's got to clean it up a little bit and stop being so gunslingerish and go back to what he was against USC and be a field general and a marksman.
Interesting. We're gonna go here. Next game up, number 24 Michigan at Illinois. Number 22 Illinois. Not Lovie Smith coaching anymore, correct?
Correct. Brett Bielema.
Minus 3.5. The Michigan Wolverines are favorite at Illinois. I'm gonna take a Michigan win, but an Illinois cover. I think Illinois.
I can see that. I don't think. I think Illinois' defense is getting a little disrespected, but rightfully so after that Purdue debacle. I think Illinois gets his win. I think they do enough on defense. I think Michigan takes a tough loss by like possibly one. I think Illinois squeaks this out at home.
Yeah, it's. I mean Illinois. Oh, so you're saying they squeak it out? I
think Illinois wins on like almost like a walk-off rushing touchdown or something stupid.
Wow. Okay. Is Rashid Mendenhall in the lineup for them?
Yeah, last I checked.
Okay, fair enough. Game of the week in college football. If you're
it's nowhere near the game of the week.
Well, in your book, this was this. You've had this starred on your calendar.
It's the game of the year. It's the game of the year for Miami before they play Clemson in the championship.
So, number 6, Miami Hurricanes. Very, very, very disrespectful, by the way. Being number 6 at this point still.
I agree with that.
4.5-point favorites going into Louisville. You know what I'm taking. You know what I'm going to say. I'm taking the Canes here. I think I know where you're going with this, but I'll let you speak on your behalf on this amazing 12 o'clock
You know where I'm
tilt.
going.
I know. I can give you the answer right now.
What's my answer?
Miami wins. Louisville covers.
No, Miami wins by like 18.
Wow.
I think Miami comes out with a purpose off a bye, right?
I just read a story that you're not going to be happy with.
They're off a bye, right? What?
They're off a bye.
Alonzo just resigned?
There's a very good chance that he resigns, they said, right now.
If they give him a dime before they meet with Soto.
I agree with you. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen that way, like you just said. There's no way we can entertain anything without talking.
Alonzo is a Scott Boras client. Scott Boras' biggest clients don't sign before February.
Enough said.
So whatever.
Next game, Cornhuskers on the road against the Hoosiers. This is going to be a great basketball matchup this season, by the way. Number
There are no
16,
Rutgers.
Indiana. By the way, I read a story today. Top 10.
Rutgers has 2 like top 5 picks.
No. They're talking about top 10 tailgates colleges in the country.
Rutgers made the top 10.
Piscataway was like 5.
Who put this out? New Jersey, NewJersey.com.
LSU was number 1 actually.
Of course they are.
LSU was number 1. Notre Dame's on the list. Penn State's on the list. But like Rutgers, I was like, what? It had to be somebody from Jersey that put this list together. But it was a wild list. You liked from talking to you, and I'm not going to give any secrets away here, but I think you said you liked Indiana in this game.
I love their coach. I like his. He's been making the rounds on some interviews and podcasts and stuff, and he said it before the year. I believe media day for the Big Ten. I think they're pretty much asked him like, "Why should we believe you? Why do you think they turned around?" He goes, "I win." It's the former Coastal Carolina coach.
I love that.
And
I like them.
They do win.
Like
They're fun.
like
good for Indiana football. Nebraska's defense is very good, so I think Nebraska covers. Indiana wins.
I'm going Nebraska here.
Ooh.
I don't really believe in Indiana yet. I mean, I saw them play Northwestern last week, and I was like,
Ooh, Matt Rule?
We have a game here in Indiana.
This game could quietly be the game of the week when everything's said and done. It could be the closest.
Yeah.
But we have two whoppers coming up. Go for it.
We have a sandwich in the middle that stinks.
Yeah, I had to throw it in there.
Number 7, Bama at Tennessee. Number 11, Tennessee. Number 7, Alabama. Bama minus the 3 going into Tennessee. I'll ask the question, who is Tennessee? Who are they?
Hold on, I got that.
Who are you?
What team's going to show up this week? I don't know. I don't know. It's like they've regressed this year as the season has gone on. And in my opinion, with that being said, I'm going to take them at home this week because Alabama to me is so up and down. Last week's game, I thought last week's game against who did they play last week at home?
Which team?
Bama.
They beat
SEC, Arkansas,
South Carolina.
South Carolina. So I thought, and I said to you last week, I thought that would be a game that after the Georgia loss, that they would come and absolutely annihilate South Carolina. Obviously didn't happen. Tennessee, I think, squeaked one out against Florida in overtime last week, which is shocking to me, and lost the week before that, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to take them at home. I'm going to take them to I'm going to go in between the 4 to 5 point victory here for this game. I know you're an SEC guy, so I want to hear your analysis on this matchup.
I think both teams played it super safe last Saturday to kind of hide tape from each other. I think Bama comes out, scores early, and never gives up the lead. I think Bama wins by probably 10. I know people are calling on Heupel to open the playbook because the offense has been bad lately. I think the Bama squeaker against South Carolina was more kind of strategic, and I think Florida has kind of improved a little bit. And I think that Tennessee game was real. So I think Bama is going to come out, and this is a statement game for Bama. I think they win by close to 10.
I don't even know why this next game's on the list.
Because I think they're on upset alert.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking number 12 Notre Dame. I don't even know how in God's name they're ranked. I don't. I honestly think if you're a ranked team that loses to an unranked team that nobody could even tell you where they're from, who they are, who their coach is, you should automatically not be allowed back into the
My
top
guess is they're from Northern Illinois somewhere.
I don't.
But if it was Marshall, yes, I agree with you.
No, number 12 Notre Dame at Georgia Tech. Notre Dame's 12 and a half point favorites.
That's a big spread.
Georgia Tech to the house, win outright, money line, everything under the sun. I hate Notre Dame. Everything about them. I go through this every week. Every time they're on my list, I wish nothing but the worst things that happen to that campus and that team. I just can't stand it. It's not. It's more the fans, and you know those fans. They're Yankee fans. They're Ranger fans. They're probably like Ronaldo in the World Cup.
To me, they're Knick fans. Being a non-Knick fan,
that doesn't make sense. But
what?
But I mean,
Cowboys fans, Knicks fans, they're all the same.
Oh, Cowboy fans. It's like Eagles fans. They're all just. So you throw Notre Dame into this mix because everybody who didn't go to Notre Dame loves Notre Dame, and they think that they're part of the Rudy movie, and they're just, it's just a disaster. And I hope that Georgia Tech annihilates them, and then something happens and they can't continue the season, so I don't have to talk about Notre Dame anymore.
Yeah, Georgia Tech wins. Notre Dame can't throw. They're going to try to run, and Georgia Tech can stuff the run. As far as I remember, Georgia Tech's got a D. So I think Georgia Tech wins this game. I'm with you. And then let's get to the Super Bowl of college football.
Second best game of the week. The Georgia Bulldogs, the number 5 Georgia Bulldogs, going to number 1 Texas. Man, Texas -5 at home. The line has gone up. Texas falls into the category of my other teams that you have to. I'm gonna ride with the Longhorns here, -5. This is the biggest game I think that Georgia's played all year. I know they played Bama and whatever, but yours is, I think, who they play, the Oklahoma game. They steamrolled them last week. I'm taking the Longhorns at home here, the -5.
I'm gonna take Georgia, just because I like the story. I think if Clemson can win out, Georgia can beat Texas, but has that Bama loss. I think it makes the college football playoff very interesting with a lot of storylines and a lot of let's really figure this out. I think if Texas keeps winning, it's kind of like, oh, we're all chasing Texas. I think Georgia can get this win. I think it opens a lot of eyes. Like who the hell is going to win this year? And I think that's good for college football. I think that's good for the mayhem of the voters and the rankings. So I'm gonna root for Georgia here, and I'll say they win by single digits.
Do you guys play them this year? Do you play Georgia?
No, it's a rare occurrence.
Wonder why.
Well,
Is there a reason?
It goes back to the East-West.
It's not like that anymore.
No,
though.
it's just one thing now.
No, best conference in football.
You know it. All right, let's get to our flush picks.
Man, I hate Notre Dame.
All right, we have the flush picks up. Last week was a heartbreaker for me in college. I had Illinois big, and they were up by 24. They came back on only won by 1 in overtime over a shitbag Purdue team. So this week I'm going to go with Missouri at home, -4 against Auburn. So give me the Missouri Tigers at home against Auburn. And then my NFL pick, give me the Washington Commanders at home, -8 over the Carolina Kitty Cats.
I'm going to go this college slate. I'm going to take the Hurricanes. Now I'm nervous because you had mentioned that they're going to win by 18 when I knew you had them written off second week of September.
I didn't have them written off. I didn't think they were tested yet. Proven.
Hurricanes for me on the road at Louisville. And then I'm going to jump on the over of the Lions Vikings game. And I think if you want, I'm not going to speak on Greg's behalf, but we can throw a third situation in there for the over in the Packers game. Can we?
80? Is it 82? If it's over 82,
80, yep. Yeah, if it's over 82, we're gonna take it. So.
All right, we're gonna finish up here with the pop culture minute, and then I got to talk about my Liberty.
I get nervous with these things.
No. It's I only have one for you today. No.
I did a good job on the logos.
No comic book stuff. On
comic book stuff.
You did a great job on the logos.
Yeah, I tried.
All right, so
wow,
we got the Where are you? Oh, here we go. Boom. Pop culture minute. All right. So this week marked the return, I believe it was the first time in 6 years, of the Victoria Secret fashion show.
God.
So I want to know, how'd you enjoy that one? Did you have popcorn? Did you wear some lingerie with the wife? Did you watch the Victoria's Secret fashion show?
When was this?
It's Tuesday night.
Does that give you the answer? I didn't even know that's a thing still. I knew that was a thing in like the early 2000s. I didn't really know that still goes on.
They shut it down, and now it's
Why?
back.
What was the reasoning?
I think it
Not enough
was.
viewership.
I think it was because they weren't showing. They weren't too inclusive with probably plus size models and maybe the LG QT
So, yeah.
community. I
So
just ruined that. I know what it is. I just ruined that.
They're back. Like they've included everybody now.
Correct.
That
Correct.
brings it back.
Correct.
Okay. I was unaware that it was gone for that reason.
I believe that's why. I know it was scrutiny. I know
There's a lot
the
of
guy over
scrutiny
there.
out
I think Victor Razic, whatever his name is, Razic. He has said some not great things in the past that caught fire, and then I know sales were hurting, but they brought it back, and it was on Amazon Prime and all the LG
BQ.
BQ.
BTQ.
Thank you. Yeah, BT. Yes. Wow. Yeah. So I believe everyone was included, and everyone looked lovely. And Cher
Trying to-
performed, and Tyler, and Lisa.
Wow, Cher. I mean, that's
Cher.
that. If you would have told me that on Monday, I would have watched on Tuesday.
Share the wealth.
I'm trying to think of like the last person that I remember like being involved in that, or that like.
Are you saying you know someone who's a Victoria's Secret model, and I don't know who she is?
Personally,
Yeah.
no. But I'm trying to think of somebody important, or what they think is important in this day and age. That was one of them. I mean, are we talking like Annie Roddick's wife? Was she part of that? What's her
No,
name?
but it was you would know. I mean, do you know Gigi and Bella Hadid?
Yeah.
They were the Tyra Banks, Kate Moss.
Okay, so that's right. So that's like 2000.
1998.
Yeah, no, they had a lot of
Yeah.
the angel.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
everyone's an angel. A lot of
How do you become an angel?
you got to be the best of the best.
It's interesting. That sounds like
Um,
scrutiny to me.
Like no Kendall Jenner.
What does she have to do with it? She was like not
she-
even born when that happened.
No, she walked at least once or twice in the last couple shows. All right,
I
that's the
don't think
pop culture
it's-
minute.
I don't think
want
it's
to
what
see.
it was. Can I say that? Can I
What?
accurately say that it wasn't what it was
25 years ago.
Yeah, I mean they became more of a celebrity thing,
Yeah, which is
not cool.
but it's not like the Met Gala.
The Mets have a gala.
Never mind. We'll get to that in the spring.
Okay.
All right, and then we'll finish up here.
Opening day. They have a rotunda.
God. The New York Liberty, one game away from lifting the trophy for the very first time in franchise history. Sabrina Ionescu with a step back three, tied at 77. She drains it to go up 80 to 77 with 1 second left. And the Liberty get to come from behind victory. Nafisa Collier was on fire in the first half, but the Liberty just kept chipping away. And the Liberty could do this. I'd like to see them do it at home. But I think they have enough veterans and leadership. I think they're gonna seal the deal in Game 4. So good for the Liberty getting their first chip, as they say. And maybe I'll go to the parade wearing a little teal. You never know.
Do they go through the Canyon of Heroes too?
You know it. Well,
Do
they've
they?
never won,
Interesting.
but I'm sure that if NYCFC did, they will, right? Or no, who did NYCFC do?
The Red Bulls?
No, the team that played in that plays in the Bronx for like
Who is the original
Tony
MLS
Miola,
soccer team from New York, New Jersey
the Red Bull,
area?
the Metro Stars.
Metro Stars. Miola.
All right. All right. Like I said before, If you're watching us on YouTube, thank you. Keep doing so if you choose. Like, subscribe, comment, share. We are also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcast, and iHeartRadio Podcast. Tuesday, we're going to come back. Same reaction show. We're also going to preview the NBA a little bit. Vin dropped a surprise team. I don't know if he was serious of who he thinks is going to win it all.
No, I wasn't serious.
I thought you were serious. But yeah, so thanks for listening. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Share, comment, like I say. It's only going to help us build this thing and reach a wider audience and be more interactive. So, as always, thank you for listening, and we will talk to you and see you on Tuesday.
Yanks are up 1-0.
Do we know how?
Trevino, please hit.
Say a prayer for the Mets tonight, everybody.
Yeah, everyone pray for your New York Mets. We need a
Whoever you,
we need a win
whoever you
Tana.
believe in.
We need a win Tana